Hello everyone, and thank you for watching. This is Hadrian. It's time to start a new series, and on that note, it's also time to start the second series ever on my channel. Not only ever in Planetbase, but the second series, or the first series that I've ever returned to on my channel, which is pretty cool. And it's appropriate that I return to Planetbase because the first run I had in a series I called Mars Colony 1 didn't really go so well. It lasted 14 episodes and then there was a catastrophic failure. So we're going to call this one Mars Colony 2 with a capital M. And we're going to get started. Planetbase is a base building game made by a company called Madruga Works. It's very similar to a game that I've played a lot called Banished, where you build a town and you don't have direct control over the members of the town, but you do have control over what they build, and your objective is to help them survive as a group. So, similar kind of survival themes to some of the stuff I've played before. Of course, I've played Planetbase before as well. But we're going to have this colony do a little bit better than the previous one. Or at least we're going to try. All right, so we have 3 workers, 2 biologists, an engineer, and a medic, and then a carrier bot and a constructor bot. That's a normal starting group. Awesome. So we got a nice open area to start a colony in. First things first, we need to go ahead and build a oxygen generator. That needs to be as close as we can get it to the main base, or to the landing pod here, because that is where they're going to get all of the resources to build from. So we're going to build the airlock right here. You know, seeing that meteor in the background reminds me, one of the things that I'm really excited about in returning to Planetbase is that when I last played, those of you who watched Mars Colony 1, you know that this was an issue. They had a bug, at the time it wasn't even a known bug, that where meteors were landing twice as rapidly as they should have. It was just crazy, you know, how many meteors were falling all over the place. So now we need to go ahead and build a water extractor. Otherwise, having an oxygen generator is not really meaningful. One of the very cool developments in real science that occurred around the time Mars Colony 1 was happening was that they discovered water does actually flow on the surface of Mars, just beneath the surface, and in just very kind of light forms. It doesn't it's not in like large bodies of water like it is on Earth, but it explains why certain portions of the Martian surface look like they've been carved by water, even though it's been eons since liquid water sat on the surface. It was just a really cool finding. So now we need power. Let's see. Let's have some power out this direction. So we're going to build a solar panel, and we're going to build a wind turbine as soon as the solar panel is ready. Let's speed up time just a bit, because we're literally just waiting on them to do that. It's telling us that it's out of power, but that's every last resource that we need right there for it to start building. Okay. Now we can build a wind turbine. Okay, so the wind turbine will help generate power all times of day. The solar panel will only help generate power during the day. So one thing that's also going to be important for us to go ahead and build right now is a power collector. This is basically our power backup. We're going to put it over here. Come on, there we go. And the power backup will enable us to keep power going when wind dies during the night. Because that is usually the first night you might have a power outage or two, just for that reason alone. If there's not enough wind to keep the colony powered, you have to go to your backups in order to keep everything going. So on that note, let's go ahead and start building some more stuff in here so that people have places to eat. Let's see. I want to have a canteen there, pretty much straight back from the. It's not completely straight, but it's straight enough. Straight back from the oxygen generator, as I usually do with my bases. It's kind of a normal thing. The game is telling me right now that I can break down the colony ship, which is something that you can do early on if you want. I like to wait until I have some storage built before I do that. That way people can immediately start bringing the stuff in from the colony ship, the components from the colony ship, into the base, which is very important. Okay, so these connections need to be finished quickly. All right, the wind turbine's been built. Now let's look at our power grid. We're producing 43. We are only taking 5.9. So that means our power collector will fill up very quickly. That constructor button needs to hurry because the sun is setting. And we need that solar panel to stay active so that this can happen as rapidly as possible. So that'll fill all the way up to 5,000. Assuming, of course, the sunlight stays kind to us. But unfortunately, the sun is setting now in that direction. Actually, it has set. So now we're really just taking in power from the wind. So we could very well have a power outage during the night. But again, that is something kind of to be expected on your first night on Mars. It's not something that's ever going to go completely smoothly. It requires a little bit of adaptability and just human tenacity. That's part of what makes this game so much fun, really, is when you're playing Planetbase, you know, there's so much that's unpredictable. You can have a start where there's just, see, the wind's gone now. So we're losing power slowly but surely. If the wind comes back, it's coming back a little bit, then our situation will improve. But for that exact reason, the game is very unpredictable. You can have situations where the wind is just screaming over your base first night and you don't have a power problem. Or you can have absolutely no wind for your entire first night. And so you're in a bit of a bad way because you have to build everything you just saw me build, and you have to build this stuff. It's just not, it's really not possible to build all of this stuff and have a full power collector by your first night. So that's where the challenge comes in, is really balancing these things and making sure that you're doing what you can at all times without doing too much also. That's a big part of it. That's part of what damned me in the Mars Colony 1 series. So we went ahead, as you saw right there, I set up a landing pad, and as soon as the landing pad is built, you will see me do something that will really, 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 really help with the construction of, I'm sorry, with just the general sustenance, not construction. Construction, too. It'll help with everything pertaining to the base. So power storage is low because wind is gone and we're running out of power. But we're not running out of power that quickly. So our canteen has been built. We're going to lower the glass here so we can see a bit more clearly. We're going to build a table, build a meal maker, drinking fountain so that people can drink, because people are going to start getting thirsty real soon. So we have two resource types that are used to build, really. There's metal, and there's what this little drone is carrying here. And that's, come on, I can't click it. Oh, come on. It's bioplastic is what it is. For whatever reason, I can't select it when it's being carried. I didn't know that. I thought you could select it, but you can't. The bioplastic is produced by plants, or it's actually, starch is produced by plants, but then bioplastic is refined at various structures, at various machines in the game. So we've got our meal maker, and we've got our water fountain. That's fantastic. Our landing pad will be under construction soon. So now, one of the next things we're going to need to build, I'm going to go ahead and break this down. Well, the next things we're going to need to build is a dorm for people to sleep. Let's see. We're going to build that right there. We're going to build it linked to the oxygen generator, because people are going to need to sleep pretty soon. I'm making them go through their first night on Mars. Actually, oh wow, that was a close meteor. Where was that? Right there. Landed pretty close. So we're actually, because we have so much wind, we're doing well power-wise. All right, landing permissions. I mentioned that I was going to do something crazy. We're going to reduce worker permissions to 30 and increase biologist permissions to 40. These are really just targets. We want our population to look like this. Right now, it's balanced in the other direction. When we have closer to 40% biologists, it's much easier to keep a balanced population that can take care of its plants and therefore take care of its food production. It's huge. I mean, that one change makes maintaining a colony in Planetbase, you know, to get closer to, say, 100 people, much, much easier, which is part of what I'm going to do here. So we've got some hungry people. Oh, all right, so they're getting ready to build the dorm, and then I'll go ahead and build the bed inside. I will go ahead and queue up the storage for them. Where can I build it, really? No. I don't like that location. I like my colonies to look fairly... I like them to have a certain pattern to them, so I can be picky about things that really don't matter. We're going to have our storage right there. Alright, I think that's a little better. Yeah, that is better. Alright, so the table's been built. One thing I didn't build in here was the television. Let's go ahead and build a TV right there. That's in a place where I know it'll never have to come down. Sometimes when you build a TV and you have an additional hallway go up, like say if I built a hallway right there, I can't right now, I can't anymore, but if I had built a hallway there, then that TV would have just automatically come down. So power storage is low, but awesomely, we are about to improve our... We're about to have day, so we're about to improve our power production. Starting very, very soon. So yeah, we are really vastly producing much more, or consuming much more power right now than we're producing, but you're going to see this number continue to climb, because not only is there wind, but as soon as this solar panel orients itself properly, we'll be in better shape. Okay. Video screen's been built. Good. People will have a sense of entertainment. Also, the dorm has been built, so let's go ahead and build some beds. People need to sleep. People are tired. I can already see it. We're going to build 3 beds. And let's speed up time just a little bit. Let's let everyone get their beds in order. Survival has been reached. That means we've survived for 1 day. Here, I'll show you. 1 day after landing here, people are still alive. See, it's supposed to be pretty difficult to get started. I like how it also shows you a picture of your actual colony every time. It kind of takes a snapshot of it and shows it to you, which is cool. So we're a snapshot from that direction. Very neat. Okay, that's just storage, so nothing to build in there. The next thing we'll need to build, though, is a biodome so that we can... Alright, good. We already have all 3 of those beds built, so people that are tired can come in and crash. Alright, let's slow things back down. Oh, we have a trade ship landing. I don't really think that we have much that we can trade, but we'll see. Let's speed up. Okay, what do we got? We got some medical supplies. I do like to sell these early on because they're often just not necessary. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but let's see what we can pick up here. Some additional spares would be great to have. An additional carrier bot would also be good to have. That's like having an additional colonist. Tell you what, let's just get some additional spares. Oh, one too many. Alright, so we're going to get some additional spares, and then we balance the difference with just money. I've still got time sped up here, so people are going to be moving pretty quick. Let's go ahead and start building a biodome. Actually, let's build a couple things. Let's build... Well, we'll build water storage after the biodome. So the biodome is where we are going to... No, not a canteen. Biodome. There it is. Biodome is where we're going to grow food. So actually, tell you what. I'll go ahead and have this be just straight out that way, kind of at a right angle to the other connection there. Yeah, it's not a perfect right angle, but oh well. I can't be a perfectionist forever. Alright, so the biodome will be where we can produce plants and food. This is what's going to enable us to eat and survive. Very, very important building going up right now. And also because we adjusted our biologist population, you're going to see a big change there from Mars Colony 1 as far as how well they're able to take care of all of the food that I build in my biodomes, which will happen over time. I'm excited about this. This is really an opportunity to... I think people have enjoyed the Planetbase series that have watched it. I've had a lot of good comments on it, the very first one. But, you know, it is a 14-episode series when it could have easily been twice as long. I don't know if there's a point where I'll cut this one off. I haven't really thought about it yet, but some of that will be based to an extent on just feedback from you guys, how much you want to see, how the series goes, and how, you know, awesome the colony gets. But this is a fun game to play, just in terms of building a base and watching it grow. All right, so we're going to build a potato pod. We're going to build a rice pad. We're going to build a tomato pod. We're going to build a medicinal pad. There's those things. And then, all right, what we need to go ahead and do is build some additional power generation. All right, and we'll need some additional power storage as well. So this is a lot of building that I just queued up. It's going to use up a lot of our remaining resources, I would imagine. Yep, we have 21 metal right now, but a lot is going to go into those. It won't take that much, but it will take a chunk out of it. Oh, good. This is a colony ship, so we get to see expansion. Expansion reached. So we have we have C.K. Comus, a biologist. And we have, who do we have? What's your name? Let me click you. Matt Kaiser, an engineer. Who are other colonists? Other biologists? We have Rory Morse. We have Dallas Lane. Bella Bennett is a worker. Donald Hoffman is a worker. Neil Holloway is a medic. That's a medic's name. I like it. Melinda Grunetas as a worker. Alright, so people are still bringing stuff in to storage from outside. Tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and... Where are you? I'm going to cut off landing permissions for colonists because I want to make absolutely sure before we bring any more colonists in that I can support the people that I currently have. Alright, so I think, yeah, the constructor bot just needs to come out here and build stuff, or an engineer does, because this base is ready to go. Alright, so now we have 2 wind turbines that are both connected. That's going to help. Alright, power storage is critical. We could be, unless wind picks up, which it is, wind is picking up, slowing down the rate at which power is failing. Oh, no, never mind. Wind is going away. Thankfully, the sun is about to come back up. So even if we do have a power outage, which we might, yeah, this is how close we are to the end of the day. This is how close we are to running out of power. The wind is coming to save us a little bit. Maybe. Oh, no. Up. Just watch that bar. It's toying with us. Okay. Now these solar panels are both orienting themselves. So I think we're good. I think we should make it without a power outage. All right, as you can see, we now have biologists tending to our food production, which is fantastic. Next thing we need to do... Where should we build a mine? Looks like we should have a mine out here, maybe. Or not. Why is it letting me build a mine? That's very interesting. That's the side of a mountain. It should allow me to build a mine. Maybe it's just too far from the base. Place near an existing structure. Okay, that must be it. So I think what I'm going to do here, I need to build some additional structures. We do need to build a processing plant. So we'll go ahead and build that out this direction. In a straight line here. Okay, and then on top of that, very important change, we're going to add a second airlock. And the second airlock will allow anyone at this future mine that we're going to build to come into the base very, very easily. There we go. That's more like it. All right, now I want it to be as close to that airlock as possible. Perfect. Aha, I see another ship landing. Trade ship on its way in. Sped up time a little bit to let them carry resources over there. Trade ship has landed. What do you have? Lots of stuff. Food, alcohol. This is like, wow, okay. All right, so the GM tomato DNA. This is something you can do once you're making a little bit more money. You can actually have really advanced food production, which is handy. Don't have the ability to do that just yet. They really don't have anything we need, per se. I mean, we could go ahead and take this ore off their hands, but... Or this bioplastic, maybe? If they had metal, I would definitely buy that off them, just to make sure we had enough to build everything. But they don't. So, I'm going to dismiss them. And on that note, I'm going to go ahead and slow down time and cut this episode here. If you enjoyed the episode, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm going to do new episodes in this series every day at 6 p.m. EST, just like all my other stuff in my sci-fi and survival genre slot. So please check it out if you haven't before. If you have watched a previous series, like maybe Out of Ashes or Against All Odds, or the first Mars Colony one, welcome back. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next episode.